Hello, dog lover. My name is Saro. I'm a dog trainer, also coach dog owners. Welcome to another live broadcast. If you're new here, welcome. And if you want to become an educated dog lover and have a healthy and happy, well-behaved dog, consider subscribing to my channel and hit the bell icon as well, so you will get notified as soon as I go live or I post my next video. Hopefully, you're doing well and everything is going well. Um, I wanted to go live and answer some questions as well, with your questions that I have received, and update some updates about the channel as well. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please leave those questions in the comments area, in the chat area, and I will answer them right away. And also, if you see me and if you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up, or in the chat area say, um, in the chat area just comment yes, if you can hear me, or if you can see me. I think everything is going well. It looks everything is in working condition. So first of all, I wanted to give a couple of shout outs to some of my viewers that have asked a few questions recently, which I'm going to answer them in a moment. And also I'll give you some ideas of what's going on about these questions and in these problems that you're having with your dog. Um, there's many things that can cause a dog to misbehave, which I'm going to talk about it today, and I'm going to share my thoughts and ideas about it. Um, Let me just load some of the questions that I have received. And when you go live on YouTube, it's not as smooth as you think it is going to be, and it's not as easy as it's supposed to be, but eventually it works. But give me a moment. Let me adjust everything. And again, if you have any questions, and if you are new to the channel, feel free to ask your questions. And I can see that Nitin Patel is in the house. Hello, sir, to you too. Thank you for being here, and feel free to ask your questions. Okay, so we are loading slowly. Just because I'm going live, um, everything is loading very slowly. So yeah, there are many reasons that can cause your dog to behave certain way, or if you have any dog or puppy that is behaving certain way and is causing you a headache or problems, feel free to ask your questions, and share with me your challenges that you're having, and I'll be answering you and helping you and giving you some advice of what to do and what not to do. Um, First of all, I wanted to um, talk about this topic. In my community tab, I asked the question of what kind of food do you feed your dogs? And it's interesting to see that many people are still feeding, obviously, kibble or dry food to them. Some have started feeding their dogs raw food, which is the more natural and more species appropriate diet for dogs. But wander wander in blanket, I, I wonder if that's the correct way of saying it. Wander in blanket was asking and sharing this thought that, hi, Saro, I know you are a huge proponent of raw diet, and I've seen this movement taking place. I'm just unsure of which companies to place my trust in. And this is a shout out to Wonder in Blanket, and I wanted to talk about this. Um, how do you decide how to choose what companies to choose, and how to go about choosing let's say if you select to go raw diet, how do you select, and how do you go about it? How do you find a company that you can trust and use them as your dog's main source of diet? Um, this day and age, there are many companies that are starting to provide raw diet for dogs. Most of them are locally established. So I would do a search on the web, local dog food companies that you can uh, kind of be able to learn about them. If they're local, obviously you can go and visit the plant. If they're local, you can either call them or contact them and learn and ask them questions and find out um, their sourcing. So that's one way that you can do. Most raw diet companies are these days are having they have um, because of the way that raw diet is prepared and made, it's mainly prepared locally. So it's good. It's a good way of basically sourcing it out. So you can either go that route, or I have some dogs in the background, so they're playing and having a good time. And let me just quiet them down. Um, Okay, they are quiet now. All right, so that's one way you can source it out. The other way that you can source out your dog food, raw dog food, is most pet stores nowadays they carry also raw diet category. So most of them are great, but some of the things that you want to look into is um, nope. So that's how I uh, correct a dog, just with a no. Um, Most of one of the things that you want to check when it comes to raw diet is when you're looking you're in the pet store and you're looking in the fridge to find out which product to choose. I would go with the one that is just clean, simple meat, nothing added to it. So check the ingredients. If there's any ingredients added, I'll avoid those. I'll go with just the meat itself. These days, most companies are providing plain meat, and some also separately they provide vegetables as well, juiced vegetables. So you can just source them out that way, just plain meat, plain vegetables. That's the best way to do it. So start with that, and once you're comfortable with the diet itself, and you're able to uh, learn more about raw diet, then you can go to the next level and start exploring more of the meats and the foods and the proteins and all the additional things that you can add to your raw diet. So hopefully that answers your question. So that was the response to one wonder in blanket question that was asked on the community tab. Now, there are two more shout outs that I'm going to mention. And Nathan, I'm going to answer your question in a moment. Nathan, I know you have asked a question. Kelly and Dean, and Akhtar Al Ali Mir have almost the same question, which they have asked me. And this weekend, I'm going to make a video response to these questions. Basically, you have a very good, sweet dog at home, but when you take them for a walk, they become devils, right? They start reacting. to other dogs or people, or they're shy or fearful or things like that. Um, so I'm going to make a video and I'm going to explain why that happens and also what to do in cases like that. So uh, actor Ali Mir and Kellyanne Dean, um, watch out for those video which is coming, that video that I'm going to be posting next week. So also, if you have the same situation where you have a sweet dog or a puppy and then you take them out and they become devils and they become different and they start misbehaving and doing things crazy, crazy stuff, crazy, well, bad behaving dog. um, I suggest you to subscribe to my channel and also hit the bell icon as well, so you will get notified as soon as I post that video. Um, all right, so Nitin Patel is asking, my dog does potty 3 to 4 times a day. It's 4 months lab. Is it okay? Yeah, so Nitin, your puppy, if it's 3 to 4, if it's a 4 months old, and yeah, they will pee. I mean, 3 to 4 times a day. It's normal, but some puppies they do more than that. I mean, naturally they will pee more because they are drinking a lot, you know. Uh, so yeah, that's normal. I wouldn't worry. One of the things that is really important for dog owners to understand is that when you have a puppy or a dog who's honey, no, when you have a puppy or a dog who's peeing a lot or is going to bathroom a lot, doing its business a lot, uh, one of the best ways that you can prevent it and control it is by providing proper diet. What I mean by that, most dogs or puppies who have lots of accident is because they are fed kibble or dry food. Kibble and dry food, because it's lacking hydration, it's lacking moisture, it forces the puppies or dogs to drink a lot more water. Therefore, it puts a lot of pressure on their bladder, and therefore they pee a lot. So that cycle continues if you don't change the diet. If you don't change the main diet, your dog, your puppy is going to have a lot more accidents. So you want to make sure that you're preventing and you're attacking the main source or the cause of the problem. If your puppy or dog is peeing or pooping a lot, so diet would be my number one tip and suggestion when it comes to your dog's potty training solution. If you change the diet, you'll see that your dog is going to drink less. If you change your diet, the dog's diet to raw diet, which is the one that I highly recommend, which is species appropriate diet. If you change to that diet, your dog obviously is going to drink less water, therefore it's going to have less accidents as well. So hopefully that helps and also explains the reason. I can see that Biporajit Chaji. I hope I'm pronouncing these right. These are fantastic names. I love this. And let me know where you guys from, actually. Uh, Biprajit Achaji. I love that name. Sir, my dog is 9 months, but she never barks on people. I want her to be guard dog. She only barks at cows and insects. uh, and Nathan is from India. Yes, it's and I am from, I think, India. Yes, yeah. All right, okay, from India. Very good. Um, Thank you for being here, and thank you for being on my channel and joining my channel and also asking questions. So the problem with your question that you're asking, Biprajit, I hope I'm saying it right, which you're saying I'm saying it right, cool. The problem with dogs who are, you want to be bar, barking, first of all, let me know what kind of dog do you have? Do you know the breed? Is it a mixed breed or is it a pure breed? Uh, the problem with that is, this is something that I explain often to my students, my Doberman. Okay, Doberman. Um, Even though you have a Doberman, this is something that I explain to my student and my fans and my clients. Even though your dog is certain breed, in this case you have a Doberman, it doesn't mean that is going to be acting like a Doberman. How old is your Doberman, by the way? Did you say that? Is 9 months? Okay, 9 months. So it's still a puppy. Uh, it's still learning. There is still time to train this puppy to become a guard dog. But unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, some dogs, some breeds are, they don't have that drive in them to become that breed completely. So what I mean by that, for example, I have a beagle. He's not 100%. He doesn't have the 100% drive of hunting. Beagles have been bred for hunting, the, to let us know where the hunt is, right? So they bark and they sniff and they catch the scent and they go and get to um, the hunt, and they bark to let us know where the hunt is, the prey is. But my beagle is not that kind of beagle. He doesn't sniff much. He sniffs, but he doesn't track, and also he uh, doesn't have the drive to hunt. There are two reasons why that happens. One is because naturally the dog is not born with the drive. Uh, First of all, the dog or the puppy doesn't have the drive. What I mean by not having the drive is, for example, remember when you're a kid, your mom or dad would say, I want you to become a doctor, or I want you to become a scientist, I want you to become this or that. But you personally, you didn't have the passion, or you didn't like math, or you didn't like, to be a doctor. You wanted to be, for example, me, I wanted to be a director, movie director. I wanted to be an artist, right? I didn't have the passion to be um, a mathematician. I didn't have the passion to be a doctor. So your Doberman, for example, may or may not have the passion to be a guard dog. So it doesn't have the drive. And the other reason it doesn't have the drive is because you haven't trained it, or you haven't worked with the dog, with your Doberman, to become a guard dog. Um, so the test that you can do is basically, you have already explained, but your dog is showing that it doesn't have the passion or the drive to be a guard dog. And unfortunately, you can't train a dog to be a guard dog. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of repetitions. It takes a lot of a strict form of training to become a guard dog. Guard dog training, which is not my specialty, but I know about it. Um, it's different. It takes a different approach to become a guard dog, but mainly it comes down, if your puppy or your dog, if it doesn't have the drive, you can get it going and you can make it to become a guard dog. This is not about only guard dog. It's about, hunting dogs. It's about tracking dog. It's about, even service dogs, like compassion dogs, all those things that we need the dog to do. Most dogs are not bred or designed to do those. There are certain dogs and puppies that we can select them to do that task. So most, for example, guard dogs or protection dogs are selected when they are puppy. When a very professional person, a dog trainer or professional person, has to evaluate the puppies. So let's say in this group of puppies, there are 6 puppies in there. They can select 1 or 2 of those puppies to become a guard dog or protection dog or service dog or hunt dog or whatever, right? So there are certain puppies or certain dogs that can be doing certain things, not all puppies. If your Doberman puppy is not showing the signs of being a guard dog, it it is unfortunately the sign that you can't train this puppy to become a guard dog. If you want it to become a guard dog, it will take a lot of work. And your B project is saying, I'm watching your for long and whatever she learned till now, all because of you, and she's really good at what I taught her, the basics especially. Thank you for your support. Oh, great! Thank you for that feedback. Um, I can see that, yes. So everything that you've learned so far, so that's great. So what I want you to do is implement whatever you're learning to teach your dog um, to be your Doberman to be better at it. So the problem, the other thing is the other problem that I see, uh, if you want your dog or puppy or your Doberman to become a guard dog, the the problem most of the time that I see is you can't teach a dog to be a pet dog, family pet dog, and a guard dog. You know what I mean? You can't ask your puppy to be both. They can do two things. They can be either one. And what I mean by that is you can ask a dog to be a pet, family pet dog, and also be a guard dog, for example. The reason for that is because, again, it takes a lot of work to train the dog to turn on and off the switch to become pet dog and a guard dog. It takes a lot of work to do to train that dog, which most police dogs, if you have noticed, police dogs are mostly they are selected from puppy first of all, and then they are raised with that officer. They raised in that family's officer home, um, and that officer works with that dog every day to make it to be a protection and guard dog and police dog. Uh, Plus, when at the end of the day uh, they they are done with the work, they go and become a family dog. They can easily turn off the switch. Like even in service dogs, have this harness that they wear that it tells the dog that it's work time, and when the harness is off, the dog knows, okay, I'm not working now. So things like that. It's hard to train those if you're not working with a professional. And I thought Dobermans are guard dog breed, so they are naturally having a guarding instinct. Yes, they are in general, yes, they are, but there are some, not all of them. And if you want a guard dog, you have to go and get a guard dog puppy from a guard dog breeder. You know what I mean? There has to be a breeder who's breeding guard dogs puppies, and then they're breeding them. And then what happens is you go and, even though they are bred to have guard dog puppies, not all of the puppies are still perfectly suitable to be a guard dog. So that trainer has to select a puppy for you. So it's a little bit challenging. It's a little bit different path that you need to take in order um, to have a guard dog. Not all dogs or breeds are the same. And I can see that Kim Kabinoff is in the house. Kim, you're saying he's 8 months old, but I don't know what the question is. I don't see the question. Can you, Kim, can you ask the question one more time? Type the question. I don't know what the question is. I just believe that you're mentioning that your puppy is 8 months old, which is cute. I'm sure. What kind of puppy is it, and what kind of problem do you have? Uh, be be Project is saying, I learned a whole new thing about the species. Thank you, sir. Yes, Dobermans. You're, by the way, you're very very welcome. Dobermans, yes, they were bred to be a guard dog. The story about Dobermans is that there was a jeweler who used to have a jeweler. I'm not exactly sure the details. I think it was a jeweler or was a taxman, uh, that he had a lot of money and money cash on himself all the time, and people would rob him. So what he decided to do is come up with a breed that could be uh, looking aggressive enough to protect him, so thieves and other people wouldn't approach him. So he bred Dobermans, right? Um, Taxman, yeah, that was a taxman, yes. So that was the origin of the breed, why they bred the Doberman, to protect and guard the person. But again, you know, not everybody is the same, right? Not everybody has the same passion, the same drive. Like, I've seen families, they have 5 kids, for example. I know one that I'm working with. They have 5 kids. One of them is an artist. One of them um, is in basketball. The other one is in math. Everybody's doing different things, right? So just because they're Wallace, no, just because they are born from the same family doesn't mean everybody is going to do the same thing, right? Everybody has different passion, and it's not fair to um, make everybody you know be the same. you know Everybody as an individual, it's good to give them that opportunity and an option to be themselves, right? um, sure. Yes. And I can see that Joseph Freeman is in the house. Thank you for being here. Welcome. Wallace, no. Joseph is saying, what can I do to make them act better, and can they be trained to be service dogs? Um, yes, again, you could train a dog to be a service dog, but it's a lot of work first of all, it's a lot of work, and I was just explaining to Biparjit, um, his issue is guard dog, and service dogs also the same category. Yes, a dog can be a service dog, but you have to consider that your puppy or your dog has to have the drive or the passion to be a service dog. Not all dogs can do the same thing physically or mentally. They have to be capable of doing things. So physically, the breed has to be in a form, for example, that they can pick up, like let's say, keys from the floor and hand it to you. Uh, uh, Obviously, a Chihuahua can't do it because Chihuahuas are small, right? So it has to be certain breeds, certain dog that can um, provide that kind of service and also be mentally also able to focus and do the task. So mostly we say the dog has to have the drive or the passion. They have to have this love in themselves to work for human. If some dogs are not passionate about working, you can't force them to work. You can't force them or teach them to do something. It becomes hard and challenging. I watched a documentary that there were, I think, like eight or nine, 10 dogs that they were selected to do a service dog job, kind of job, and maybe 2 out of 10 were just qualified. Not all of dogs can be qualified to become service dog. It is doable, but you have to work with a specialist who works with and trains with service dogs, and yeah, eventually can be done. Joseph, what kind of dog you have, and how old is you? Oh, you're saying French bulldogs. Even French bulldogs, physically, you see, when it comes to service dog, again, they have to be physically able to do the tasks. French bulldogs are not ideal breeds for service dog. They can be service dog in a way of compassion dogs. I mean, like they visit the hospitals to help you know people in the hospitals. That could be a job for them. Um, that would be more suitable for that kind of breed. Not really service dog, but they are just compassion dog. They call compassion dogs. I hope that answers your question. Kim Kabanoff is asking, he's a mini Dachshund. I need him to ask to go outside to potty. I take him out regularly and he goes on command. At night, he stands on my chest and nudges me when he has to go. How can I get him to ask to go by the door during the day? Um, that's a good question. Uh, so what I usually suggest to do in these cases is ring the bell. That's the easiest thing that you can teach to a dog. So what happens is you ring a bell, you hang a bell to the door that usually you take the dog out or the dog goes out to do its business. You ring the bell. Um, as low as possible as your dog's body can touch or um, kind of be touched by your dog when it's going out. So what happens is every time your dog passes through this door, it touches this bell, and it rings. So your dog hears every time I go out, this bell rings. Or for the first, let's say, 10 times, when you see your dog going towards the door, go through by the door and just ring the bell and open the door and let your dog out. This way, your dog is going to put two and two together. It's going to learn the the situation that every time I go out to do my business, this bell rings. So it's going to learn and get used to the idea to ring the bell next time. Next time when you're not there, it's going to figure it out. Dogs are smart enough to figure it out. It's simply just hang the bell as low as you can to the door and let your dog either hit the bell as it's going out or you ring the bell as you're opening the door. And if you repeat that 10, maybe even 20 times, then your puppy or your dog is going to learn, okay, I need to ring the bell in order for me to go out. So that would be the easiest solution. It's a very easy solution to work with your dog and train your dog to do that. And at night, what I usually suggest to do is, if you don't want your puppy to or dog to bother you for to go for potty, um, number one, change the diet. So if you're feeding kibble or dry food, I would highly suggest you to change the diet to raw diet. That also helps your dog to drink less water and therefore go potty less. So sleep throughout the night. This is my number one tip. If you are bothered with your dog's potty routine, the number tip that I have and suggestion that I have is change the diet. When you feed your dog kibble or dry food, what happens? They are lacking moisture and water, so therefore they have to drink a lot of water. Therefore, they have to pee lot more and lot often. So that cycle continues all the time as long as you're feeding your dog kibble or dry food. But if you change your dog's diet to raw diet, which is species appropriate diet, you'll see that your dog is going to drink less water, therefore is going to have less need to go to pee. That's another tip. Uh, Nighton Patel is in the house. Thank you for being here. Um, my 4-month-old lab does not have control on eating. When I take her on leash, she tries to eat outside food on the street. Honey, no. Um, your 4-month-old does not have control on eating. When I take her on leash, she tries to eat outside food on the street. Oh, so I believe, Nathan, you're asking that your 4-month-old is picking up stuff on the street. This is something that, puppies, they do explore the world with their nose, with their eyes, with their ears. So when they see something, they have to pick it up. They are exploring. So what I usually suggest to do is, um, make sure that your puppy, first of all, is um, it's not put in a situation that has the opportunity to practice behaviors that are unwanted. So what I mean by that is, if you don't want your dog to pick up stuff, for example, on the street, don't put your puppy in that environment until you have good control over your dog when it's walking with you. Then you can put your puppy in that situation. For now, I will avoid situations and environment and conditions that will make your puppy or force your puppy to do unwanted behaviors. In this case, picking up food or unwanted objects from the ground. So be a little bit proactive and be a little bit selective about the environment that you're going to take your puppy or places that you're going to take. Pick places or environments that there is less distractions, less things for you to bother and worry about. for the next, let's say, 2 or 3 months, since you have a 4 months puppy, you need 2 or 3 more months to work on your dog's puppy's walking um, skills. So your puppy has to have gain some information and gain some techniques to walk properly, and you have to teach that. And if you want to teach how to get your puppy to walk properly on leash, I have videos on my channel that you can go and watch and learn how to improve the walk. So my first tip is avoid environments that can help your puppy to misbehave or pick up stuff. To work on improving your puppy's walk on leash, and then bring your puppy in an environment that there are streets, and there are environment things that can distract you. You have to have some form of control over your dog in order to put them in a situation like that. But remember, your puppy is always exploring, so everything that it sees and hears or smells, it wants to explore. It wants to figure out, find out what it is, so they will go for it. So don't put them in that position or situation. Hopefully that helps you and answers your question. Kim Kabinoff is asking, he's not having accident because I take him out regularly. He's just not asking on his own during the day. So yeah, the best way is the bell, because what happens is they learn, it becomes fun for them. And the other thing I would suggest, if he's not asking, did you mention how old it is? Probably it's a puppy, right? I'm not sure if you have mentioned that. I would take your puppy or your dog at least every 2 or 3 hours outside. Whether they ask or not, I would take them out, right? I would step them out and let them do their business outside every 2 to 3 hours. Uh, the best solution that I have for you is for 48 hours, let's say a weekend, you dedicate to potty train your puppy or dog. Is you keep your puppy and dog under control. You can attach a leash to you and attach it to your dog, so you have 24/7 control over your dog or puppy. So your puppy is in a crate if you're not watching them, or if it's with you, it's on a leash or attached to you. So for 48 hours, you're constantly monitoring your dog or puppy. And then every 2 or 3 hours, you're taking it out. Whether they do their business or not, you still take them out and let them do their business. If they do their business, you celebrate, you praise them like crazy. If they don't do, that's okay. Bring them back, have them on leash under control, or in a crate for all day, all night. All night, they would be obviously in a crate, and then that will teach your dog to go do its business on routine basis. Um, the other thing is, if you take your dog out and your dog does its business, what I suggest you to do is take a note, mark what time they did it. Honey, no, mark down what time, for example, they did it. Let's say 2 o'clock. Next one, they did their business at 4. Next one at 6:30. Next one at 8. So you kind of know every 2 hours your puppy or your dog has to go and do its business. So you have an idea, so you figure it out and you let them out. Hopefully that answers your question too. Where are we? Kim saying, okay, thank you. You're welcome, Kim. What is an example of raw diet? Oh, example of a raw diet is, it's simply, you can start by feeding your dog the meat that you buy from your store, your local store. Let's say you buy beef, you feed your dog the same beef without any seasoning, just raw as it is, with some vegetables, green leafy vegetables preferably. And then once you get used to it, you can add, you can buy chicken, ground chicken. Make sure that it's ground. So rather than pieces, ground chicken, ground beef from your local store, you can get it and feed your dog, or you can visit your local pet store. Nowadays, many local pet stores are carrying raw diet menus as well. You can get meat from them. Basically, it's 75% meat and 25% veggies. So 75% any meat, chicken, beef, kangaroo. Nowadays, there are variety forms of meats available: chicken, beef, kangaroo, pheasant, turkey, whatever, and 25% of green leafy vegetables, as green as possible. You can add to that meat, mix it up, and feed your dog. A simple recipe. I have videos on my channel. If you want to watch some of those videos, you can just go to my channel and search on the search bar on my channel. There's a search bar on my channel. You can type in any topic that you have a question about, let's say raw diet, and it will show you all the videos that I have about raw diet. So that's an example of a raw diet. The positive training, love that name, is in the house. Thank you for being here. And the positive training, great name, great title. Sir, she never eat her food by her own. I open her mouth and put the food directly to the throat. How can I teach her to eat her food by her own? She is medically fit, no issue there. So, if a dog chooses not to eat, there's few things that are happening. They're either not feeling good or they're not feeling hungry. If they're not feeling good, most of the time, most dogs, what they do is they fast. Not many humans do that, but animals and dogs, they do that. They fast. If they don't feel good, they fast. Fasting is a great thing. I do it myself. I fast most of the time. I fast, a day or 24 hours or 12 hours or 18 hours. I fast because I want to feel better. I feel actually better when I fast. So dogs and animals do the same thing. They fast. If they are not feeling good, they usually fast. So you don't have to force them to eat. If they don't feel hungry, they don't want to eat. Now, most dogs, they are happy to eat one meal a day, sometimes two meals a day, and some dogs actually they want to skip a day. There are dogs who don't really like to eat as often as possible, unless there is a health issue happening and you're saying there's no health issues there. And if your dog doesn't it chooses not to eat, is because it's either not really hungry. Humans, we are used to eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a whole bunch of treats in between, desserts and this and that, snack here and there. But animals, they don't eat like humans do. Animals, they eat maybe every few days, maybe once in a while, whenever they feel hungry. And they're not like humans who has to be fed every few hours. They want to eat whenever they feel hungry. So be considerate about that. You offer the food to your dog, um, and leave it on the floor for them to eat it. You give them 5 minutes, 10 minutes maximum. If they don't touch the food, pick it up, put it away. Try, 12, 16 hours later, see if they're going to eat. So remember that they're either not feeling hungry or they're not feeling good. Therefore, they are fasting, right? And the reason they are not feeling good and they want to fast, number one reason why they don't feel good and they want to fast is because the previous food that they had, either let's say they picked up something that they were not supposed to pick up, or they ate the food that you offered, the food that you offered or the food that they picked up probably made them feel bad. Most of the time, number one reason why dogs feel bad eating the food that you're offering is because you're feeding kibble or dry food. And most dogs, they don't feel good on that diet. Therefore, they fast. Every time you feed that food, the next time they don't look forward to eat that food. Instead, they're saying, I have to eat this food. I don't feel good eating it, but I have to eat. I'm hungry, but I can fast. I can hold on to not eating until I'm really starving. And then when they're starving, they will eat, right? So that's what happens. The positive training. Uh, the and you're saying my dog is 9 months and I am doing this for last months daily. So be aware that maybe in the last month, maybe you changed the food, something you changed, or something the food has changed or something has happened. You may want to consider feeding fresh food fresh food, raw diet, and you'll see your dog is going to gulp it down no matter when you offer. um, the positive training, that's do you are you a dog trainer as well? And let me know a little bit more about your positive training. That's cool. I'm so excited that you are part of my community. Nitin Patel is saying, I give my dog buttermilk. Is it fine for her? Um, Usually, dogs don't do well on. Nope, honey, no, just correcting one of the dogs. So this one of the best way of correcting a dog is verbal correction. So here's a tip. I have taught and practiced this verbal correction with the dogs. These are not my dogs. These are some of the daycare dogs. They know, they are familiar with the verbal cue of no means stop that behavior. So I don't have to run after them. I don't have to yell at them. I don't have to do crazy stuff. I just say their name and I say no and they stop. There's some stuff happening back there. They're doing some work back there outside of our facility. So dogs are hearing some sounds and noises and they're reacting to them. But I just say no and they stop. So for example, you see that's, for example, Honey is barking. So I'll say, Honey, nope, and it will stop, but it will come back again. But all I have to do is just say no. So there's a tip for you. So let me go back to Nitin Patel. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I'm so sorry, but I love that name. It's an interesting name. Buttermilk, yes, buttermilk. Usually, dairies are not main source of diet for dogs. Dairies are good just once in a while if your dog is lacking probiotics. If your dog has some gut issue, then you can add some dairy to their diet, but not as a regular diet or source of food for your dog. It's good for humans, but for dogs and animals, it's not good. Dairy in general is not part of their main diet. Main diet of dogs and animals is meat and a little bit of digested or fermented or uh, juiced vegetables. That's the main diet of dogs. Um, dairies and carbs are not part of their diet, unfortunately. And when you feed a dog, let's say kibble, you're feeding a lot of carbs to a dog. 60 to 70% of every bag of food that you buy is 100% carb, and out of that 100%, 60 to 70% of it is sugar. It turns into sugar, and unfortunately, that's not a right diet for dogs. So yeah, consider that. So buttermilk is only good when your dog is lacking some probiotics in its body. Let's say your dog got sick and you had to give them um, antibiotic for, let's say, a week or two, because their body now is lacking probiotics. You can give them after or during or after the time that you're giving them antibiotic, just to replace the good bacteria in their system. Honey, no. HS, welcome. Thank you for being HS to the channel. My GSD has hip issue. Could I add the pharmacy supplement MSM in her food? I'm not sure what MSM is, HS. Let me think if I can remember what it is, MSM. Let me do a just quick search to see if I can find out what MSM is. Um, if your dog has hip problem, usually methylene phenylene methane. Sulfur, yeah. You know what? It's not a bad thing. At the moment, I can't really uh, say exactly if it's a good thing or a bad thing. It sounds like it's a good thing based on quick search that I did. But if you have if you have a dog who has hip issues, usually what I suggest you to add to their diet is um, ginger, natural, and ginger and omega oil. Yes, omega 3 oil. Okay, so these two things will help with the joint. These are natural stuff. You can either give ginger, fresh ginger, just grated ginger to their add to their food, and also you can give eggs. Eggs are good. Eggs are good for as a nutrient. And omega 3 oils you can give fish um, once or two or even three times a week. A small portion of fish you can add, sardines, fish, um, things like that. You can add to your dog's food that will help with placing some, adding some omega 3s. Things like that will help. I usually don't suggest to go with medication or pills like that. Uh, I usually suggest to go more natural. Things like, fresh meat. Again, it's good. Fresh food in general will help with your dog's problems. Okay, so yeah, I can't really is given to dogs and horses for joints. I take it to, yeah. It, as I said, based on the quick search that I did, it sounds like a good thing, but I don't think it's going to help much with the joints. I would suggest more eating or giving natural stuff like ginger, eggshells are good too, and omega-3s. Those will lubricate and help the joints to work properly and heal. The other thing that you can do is fresh food, as I said, fresh raw diet will help your dog to heal faster too. That's my take. I hope that helps, gives you some ideas. But I'm gonna definitely research that and MSM, right? I'm gonna research that and find out exactly what it is, and maybe I'll make a video about it. Um, HS Singh is saying thanks for answering. You are welcome. And Nighton Paddle is saying thank you, sir. You are welcome. And we have Biprajit is asking, is it okay to give onion, garlic, and ginger to her chicken soup? Um, Onion is not good. Onion is very toxic and dangerous for dog, actually. So I would avoid onion. Garlic, just a bit, not too much, but ginger is very good. So no onion. Onion, definitely cut it out. No spices like peppers and things like that. So there are some spices that are okay for dogs. Actually, I'm gonna make a video about it. Yes, that gave me an idea to make a video about spices. What spices are good and safe for dogs? Actually, again, if you go to my channel and there's a search bar on top of my channel, if you search safe foods for dogs, I have a video, a list of video of a video of a list of things that it's safe for dogs. And I think I've mentioned that too. So onions are not good. Garlic, a little bit of it is good. Honey, no. Garlic, a little bit is okay. It's good. Also, garlic is good for also for fleas and ticks as well. Ginger definitely is a good source of um, I would say vitamin and nutrient is very nutritional for. It's a very good thing for dogs. So yeah. I wonder as I wonder. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Long time no see. And again, I love this name as well. I wonder as I wonder. I do that too. I wonder as I wonder all the time. So it's a great title. Wheat germ oil helps tremendously with skin issues. Wheat germ oil. That's good to know. I'm gonna make note that as well. I'm not sure for skin issues. I usually suggest omega 3 and 6 oil for dogs. Um, Omega oil is good. Again, eggs are good too for skin. But I have to do my research about wheat germ oil. But if you say, did you have an experience with it? Does it work? That's great to know, actually. I will do a little bit of research about that as well. Um, Sir, it will be best. There no video on this topic yet. Yes, okay. Yes, I will I will definitely make a video about this topic, the spices. Yeah, that's a good idea. So yeah, so I have a dog who's just barking. Honey, no, honey, sit. Good girl. All right, okay. Um, it's very temporary. It works, but it works for temporary, and then she wants to have more fun. So they're having fun there. I have a doggy daycare there, and they're having a good time. Um, Great. All right. So I hope this live video was helpful to you and I answered all of the questions, I believe. If you still have questions that you need help with, please feel free to leave them in the comments area. I will answer them after the live show. Thank you all for being here. I really enjoyed these Q&A sessions, and it gives me a lot of joy to interact with you. And if you are new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe to the channel and also click on the bell icon as well, so you will be notified. You will get a notification from YouTube that whenever I go live or I post my next video. I wonder, as I wonder, is saying wheat germ oil has omegas and has a veterinarian. I have had great experience with using it. That's great. Yeah, I didn't know that, and I'm going to do a lot more research about it and find out more about it. It just says, thanks as I wonder, I'll try wheat germ oil. Yeah, give it a try. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Um, you are wonderful, sir. Thank you. Yes, thank you for you as well. Thank you for being here. Uh, Love from India. Thank you. Thank you very much for being here. You are too far from me, or else I would love have come personally to thank you. Oh, thank you very much. That is very kind of you. That is very nice of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. I am really honored to be part of this community and be part of this uh, beautiful dog lovers and helping you all. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this live session. And please remember that if you have any other questions, leave it in the comments area. I will answer them after the show. And if you could help me to grow this channel even bigger, let everybody know, let other dog lovers know about this channel, share this channel with them, share my videos with them so we can grow faster. We can reach more dog lovers like you around the world and be more positive and have fun with our dogs. Okay? Thank you very much. And until next time, have fun with your dog.